Cardiff v Man United betting odds plus Premier League tips, including De Bruyne in a 31 treble. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the big story this weekend, taking charge of his first game as interim Manchester United manager against Cardiff, the team he had a terrible time in charge of a few years ago. Going for goals could be the best shout in terms of betting on Saturday's late game, and there's plenty to get stuck into across the rest of the card. Here's our game-by-game guide to the latest round of Premier League fixtures. All kickoffs 3 p.m. on Saturday unless stated. If Burnley have been watching closely, they should know how to get the better of Arsenal, as it's happened twice in the past week. Crosses and headers were the death of them at Southampton, while Tottenham were able to cut through them twice in their League Cup tie. But knowing and doing are not quite the same. Like Arsenal, Burnley lost to Tottenham last time out, and although they were just moments away from nicking a point at Wembley, they've now failed to score in 7 of their last 10 away games, including the last 3 in a row, winning 1, drawing 2 and losing the other 7. They've also lost on all 4 trips to the Emirates Stadium by an aggregate score of 13-2. Sean Dyche's priority will be avoiding another defeat, and he'll make it tough for the hosts, who are 1/4, so the pick here is halftime draw, full-time home win at 7 halves, bet Victor. Correct score backers might fancy 2-0 to Arsenal at 13 halves with a few firms. Losing 6 of 7 in the league is bad enough, but Bournemouth's run will look terrible if it reaches 7 of 8 with away games against Tottenham and Manchester United up next. Eddie Howe, who rested key men for the midweek defeat at Chelsea, is far from under pressure, but this is a game he needs a result in. They played well at Wolves and had plenty of possession, but chances were few and far between, and they couldn't finish the couple they did carve out. But Brighton's defeat by Chelsea last weekend shouldn't have been as narrow as it was. They were allowed back into the game by the Blues. The hosts can edge it here. They're just under evens for the victory and 17-5 with a couple of firms to win by a 1-goal margin. They made hard work of beating Brighton at the end, but for much of the game there was little to trouble Chelsea last weekend, and this should be straightforward enough. Maurizio Sarri's side are unbeaten in 12 Premier League home games, keeping a clean sheet in each of the last 3 at Stamford Bridge, W7D5L0, before taking care of Bournemouth 1-0 in the League Cup on Wednesday night. They're no better than 1/3, but you can get 23-20 they win without conceding. New Southampton manager Ralph Hasenhüttl celebrated wildly after beating Arsenal to win his first game at just the second attempt, end a 14-game winless run and escape the bottom 3, on goal difference. Huddersfield is about as good an opportunity he'll get to build on that victory, even away from home. David Wagner's side have scored just 3 goals in their 9 games on their own patch and led in 11. The most recent of those was the only goal of the game at home to Newcastle last Saturday, the 4th outing on the bounce they've lost by the odd goal. A similar story unfolding here is the best bet with Saints 8-5 to take 3 points, 19-5 to win by a 1-goal margin or 21-10, Sky Bet, to win 1-0, 2-0 or 2-1. By kickoff time at the Etihad Stadium, City could well be in unfamiliar territory, 4 points off the pace at the top of the table. They remain heavy favorites for the title, 4-9 at the time of writing, and have Kevin De Bruyne back for the second half of the season. He started his first game for 7 weeks, against Leicester in midweek, and marked it with a goal, his first of the season. It's a timely return, and the Belgian can freshen things up as Pep Guardiola looks for a response to Liverpool hitting the top. No one's going to get rich quick backing City at 1-7, but you can get De Bruyne in the score win double at 11-5. He's 9-1, Betfred, for the first goal or 5 halves at any time. There's not much worse than Newcastle's home form, but fortunately for them, Fulham's record on the road falls into that category. 1 point from 9 games tells its own story, while 6 goals scored and 24 conceded paints an even bleaker picture. They head north to face a Newcastle team who have lost just twice in their last 8 games, and while it's true that most of the Magpies' good work has been done away from St James Park, they are worth taking at just over evens with several firms. West Ham and Watford played 2 of the top flight's weaker teams last weekend, and Manuel Pellegrini's mob impressed more. They did the business against Fulham for their fourth straight win, while Watford put their fans through it by taking their foot off the pedal and only winning 3-2 against Cardiff, having led 3-0 with 10 minutes to go. A win for West Ham will take them into the top 6, if only for a couple of hours, and the way they've turned things round in the last few weeks, it's hard to back against them. A West Ham win is 7-5, to win with both teams scoring their 10/3. Robert Snodgrass has scored in his last 2 games and looks big at 4-1 with Bruyne at any time. A smiling Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has already lifted the mood at Manchester United, but for one of the nicest guys in the game, that was the easy bit. Now the hard work starts. A former striker who scored 126 goals for the Red Devils is well placed to get the misfiring frontman going again, and fans will welcome the news he's already spoken to his mentor Sir Alex Ferguson. But the problems at the other end of the pitch are as pressing, with United conceding 1 more goal this season than 19th placed Huddersfield and clean sheets rarer than hen's teeth. Cardiff will be desperate to spoil the party for their former boss and should more than make a game of it. Both teams to score looks a good shout at 10-11, while over 3.5 total goals in the game is slightly better than 2-1 with a few bookies, and over 4.5 is available at 5-1. Solskjaer's priority is closing the 11-point gap to the top 4. It's a big ask, and United are 16-1 to finish among the Champions League places. That's the same price bet away have them to win their next 5 Premier League games, the 5th one in that run being Tottenham away. Before that it's the Bluebirds, Huddersfield, Bournemouth and Newcastle. The same company go 9 halves, they take 12 points from 12 off that little lot. Paul Pogba was the happiest man in Manchester when Jose Mourinho was shown the door, high-fiving teammates, and he's 15 halves for the first goal in Wales, or 12-5 to score at any time. Mauricio Pochettino was gagged on Thursday and not allowed to talk about the Manchester United job, and now he'll be hoping to silence Goodison Park. It's usually bouncing, and Everton are unbeaten in their last 6 there, with 4 wins and 2 draws, but overall, they go into this one having won just 1 of their last 6 games. As for Tottenham on the road, they've won 8 of their 10 away games in the league, and in the past fortnight have managed a draw in Barcelona and a cup win at Arsenal. They can shade this and are 27-20 to win or 16-5 to win, with both teams scoring. Homes: Newcastle, West Ham, Stoke, MK Dons, Aberdeen. 31-1 Marathon aways: West Brom, Tottenham, Kilmarnock, Ayr. 15-1 Several draws: Reading v Middlesbrough, Portsmouth v Sunderland, Oldham v Exeter. 41 Several anytime scorer: Kevin De Bruyne, Callum Patterson, Eden Hazard. 44-1 bet away from oddseeker.com, correct at time of publication.